Commander. We've been hit by one of those space anomalies.
Buddy?
And the piloting system is down.
Buddy?
The astrogator's gears are shot!
Get a hold of yourself! You're an Earth Directorate agent.
Affirmative, Commander. What are the orders?
Brace for impact.
The moment I dropped in, I realized this would not be a quiet little space vacation. I'd been waiting for the sequel like a kid waiting for the ice cream truck on a scorching day, and I was fully prepared to be disappointed. Because let's be honest, sequels either change everything and ruin the magic, or change nothing and feel like an overpriced DLC. This game, however, walked a tightrope, and somehow it did it while juggling flaming space wrenches. The first 10 hours of playing felt like putting on a beloved slightly dusty pair of shoes. The core loop is instantly familiar. You talk your way out of a tight spot, blast your way through another, and then spend the next hour agonizing over whether you should put your next skill point into Intimidate or Lockpicking. But where the first game felt like it was playing its debut album on a garage stage, this one is headlining the biggest festival in the cosmos. The depth they've baked into the RPG mechanics is frankly intimidating. I spent so long staring at the character sheet, I swear I could feel my brain cells filling a class action lawsuit for overtime. It's less of a character sheet and more of a multi-page text document detailing the precise breakdown of my destructive efficiency. This is the kind of game where you can spend an hour maxing your build only to realize the most powerful weapon you possess is a perfectly timid, highly specific, sarcastic dialogue option. The combat itself is still highly satisfying. It hasn't reinvented the first-person shooter genre. It's still pointing and clicking, but it feels weighty and responsive, like giving a polite, heavily armed corporate beatdown. But the real combat revolution, the thing that makes you feel like an absolute space warlord, is the companion system. My squad wasn't just a pair of damaged sponges I dragged along. They were an actual functional, beautiful chaos engine. I could barely keep track of all the flashy abilities they were triggering, which suited me fine, because I was usually busy scrambling away from a robot with more guns than sense. For once, my teammates felt less like extremely talkative, high-maintenance luggage and more like competent, genuinely hilarious friends who occasionally trip over things. The plot is much bigger this time. Instead of fixing a small to mid-sized corporate dumpster fire, you're now dealing with an intergalactic, multi-level marketing scheme that spans several stunning planets. It's ambitious, and it tackles some genuinely grand themes about freedom and bureaucracy, but the greatest achievement is that it never ever loses its sense of humor. The corporate satire is so sharp it could cut diamonds. Every side quest is a tiny, perfectly formed masterpiece, often outshining the main narrative with its absurd scenarios and meaningful moral choices. These are not fetch quests. These are profound dilemmas wrapped in a bright, soulless corporate packaging. The number of times I had to pause and walk away from my desk because I couldn't decide which flavor of ethically great decision to make was genuinely impressive. Let's talk about the scenery, because oh my gosh, the scenery. If the first game felt like a beautiful but slightly restricted corporate theme park, this one is an open invitation to roam a truly bizarre alien nature reserve. The new planets are visual sermons. They are vibrant, they are massive, and they feel genuinely alien, not just someone cranked up the saturation on a stock photo of Earth. The unique retro-futuristic aesthetic is finally given the space it deserves, making me stop to take screenshots every 5 minutes like a tourist who just discovered filters. And the best part, the technical backbone is as smooth as a freshly waxed space yacht. The frame rate is locked in tighter than a corporate contract, and load times are so quick they barely give you enough time to check your phone. It's clear they spend a lot of time on optimization because this game runs like a dream. That said, it wouldn't be a true next-gen RPG without a few charming minor glitches. I had one highly dramatic cutscene about the fate of an entire colony ruined because my companion, during a very pivotal emotional moment, decided to randomly T-pose behind the main speaker like he was auditioning for a very stiff role in a performance art piece. But honestly, those moments are so minor, they just funny spice on an otherwise perfect dish. Nothing truly game-breaking, just reminders that we are all, including the virtual inhabitants of this bizarre future, still a little broken. So, is this game worthy of your precious time and even more precious hard drive space? Absolutely. It's not just a sequel, it's the definitive version of what this universe set out to be. It took the brilliant foundation of excellent writing, character development, and choice-driven narrative and poured jet fuel on it. It's bigger, prettier, funnier, and most importantly, it offers such a staggering amount of meaningful role-playing depth that you'll be finding new ways to approach situations on your third or even fourth playthrough. This game doesn't just ask, who are you going to be? It demands, who are you going to be? And how hilarious will your questionable decision-making process be? If you like your comedy dark, your space vibrant, and your moral compass perpetually broken, then congratulations, you found your next 1 hour obsession.
From one side of the galaxy to the next, the Earth Directorate is on your side. Whether against corrupt corporations, tyrannical governments, or corrupt corporations in league with tyrannical governments, the Earth Directorate is here to fight for the rights of all colonists.